Hi, welcome back to the channel. The other day I did a video about the English expats buying houses off the internet without actually ever coming here to see them, and what's happening when they do turn up. The one I showed you was about a village called Ostrov, and the thumbnail that Sue had put on was actually part of their advert. Showed you girls in bikinis on a beach, which there wasn't any beach. It's an old port and there's a bit of grass in front of the River Danube. Their adverts of what the houses was like, but pictures of the houses can be 10 to 15 years old, but when you come to see the house, obviously it doesn't look nothing like that. People's been in, stripped it, even the wiring, the plumbing, everything. And they're just old Bulgarian tradition houses with a bit of a slap of paint on and tile or two. They're buying them for, I don't know, what do you say, so?
20, well, the Bulgarians are buying the houses up for maybe €5,000 maximum. But
Well,
then they're
maximum.
selling
More like
them on
5,000 lev.
possibly.
Yeah.
But then they're selling them on for 30, 40
Yeah,
thousand euros or more.
That's right. The English expats were selling up in the UK, loading the transit up or the trailer with the goods and making their way over here. And I just wondered what their thoughts was when they turned up. Well, I did show you, I rode around on my bike showing you what it was like. How people took it, they were shocked of the conditions and the roads. Now bear in mind, Ostrov village is in the middle of nowhere, it's not near anything. There's no money to repair the roads, there's no infrastructure whatsoever, and they're just too far away from everything. Got a nice view of the river, admittedly. Now one guy even said it was looked like he was living in Guatemala. Is that right?
Guatemala, yes.
Yeah, Guatemala. I'm not even sure where that is myself.
South America.
Oh, I take it must be a bit rough. I did say we've been here 12 years and this is our 5th house. We learned, I wouldn't say we learned the hard way, but we've been through all the different scenarios. We started off in a village on top of a mountain. It's a reasonably small village, mainly full of old people. But to be honest, that first place we was at was the best time of our lives since we've been in Bulgaria. Really, really friendly. And I do see arguments on Facebook or what have you, where people say there's nothing wrong with the out of the way villages, the people are lovely. The old babas, they call them. And what they mean by that when they say the old babas is they're the old women that's left in the village. The Bulgarians have a bit of a tradition that's a bit different to UK anyway. Young girls marry a lot older blokes, maybe 15, 20 years older than them. It was how things used to be done, because everybody lives in a family house and it could be 3, 4 generations at one house. This is how it used to be. Now a young bloke isn't going to have any property of his own. He ain't going to have anything really, nothing. And the older blokes have got the property, they got a bit of money, so the young girls always married older men, which was fine. There's nothing wrong in that. Happens all over the world, doesn't it? But what happens is, as time goes by, the time the women have got to their 50s, the blokes are in the 70s and they're passing on, and it leaves the women on their own. The women in a lot of these villages are in their 80s. This is why the villages are stuck out in the way, nobody there, are just full of old women. The English come along, buy a house in that village, and the women are always friendly and they take to each other sort of thing. And this is why they say, oh, it's lovely, it's lovely, it's lovely. The English buy a house, they either keep it as Bulgarian, don't do nothing, or they spend a fortune making it English style, which is fine. They're having the time of their lives, really enjoying things. But as the time goes by, give it another 5 years, and let me think, most Bulgarian villages, what would you say, 100, out in the sticks, 200 people in the village?
There's some villages with less than 50.
Yeah. Probably when they moved to that village, let's just say, benefit of the doubt, there was, say, 150 people in that village. 5 years further on, there's 100 people in that village. Another 5 years, so the English have been there, say 10 years, I would say they're lucky if there's 50, 60 people left in that village, just due to the age of the people. Once an old person dies in a village house and the house becomes empty, it's never replaced. This is why when I was riding round, you saw the houses just derelict, nothing in them at all, just been stripped, no windows, doors, nothing. This is what happens. Then it leaves the English in a village where there's 50 people. And then every year goes by, it gets less and less and less. And what happens when that comes round is the local village shop's been shut for years then, because there's nobody there. It just can't make a living. So it means there's no village shop, you can't even get a loaf of bread, you can't get anything. The bus service has stopped because it's not feasible for them to run a bus service out into the sticks through a village that there's no people. It'll just stop. Next thing is, it depends how many people get in the village. In actual fact, I might do a video on this. I know lots of villages where there's no people, or one or two. There's no electric, no water, nothing, because that's what happens. When it drops below a certain amount, I think I did find out once what it was, could you remember?
Was it 10?
Yeah, is it 10? Yeah, if it gets down to about 10 people in a village, maybe a bit less, the services are cut off, like electric, because it costs more to supply it and maintain it than what they're getting back in. This is how it is in Bulgaria. So there's no electric all of a sudden, no water. So you got somebody that spent an absolute fortune on a lovely looking house built to English standards, been renovated, extended, with nothing. And then the best they can do, they start putting them up for sale because they're in a panic. Well, usually by this, the wife's had enough and wants to go back home. And they can't even give them away. You know, who wants to move to a place like that? It happens. What you've got to do is use your head. If you're going to come over to Bulgaria, you've got to come here, spend a bit of time, if it's just renting somewhere, to have a look round, or keep coming over various times, different areas to come and have a look. Now, like I said, this is our 5th house, it'll be our 5th village, possibly our last. If the wife has her way, it's the last.
Too old to move again.
Too old to move again. Right, we're going to show you what our life's about here. We're not self-sufficient. We nearly was at one time in one of our other places. We had a small holding with 60 goats, we had sheep, pigs, chickens, had 3 horses. Time of my life, great, but I was a bit younger then. I retired when I was 50, so when we first come to Bulgaria, you know, I was still like a working bloke, but I was able to retire and come here. If I was in England, I'm 66 in February, I'd probably still have to be working, to be honest. You know what the bill's like and everything in England, I just don't know how you lot manage, honestly I don't. But, right, let's have a look. This is our house. Right, we'll walk through and have a look. Ooh. You can see down the side of it, as far as you can see, belongs to us. Now, we actually bought this house off an English couple. Now, he was a carpenter or something, or a builder, something sort of other, and he'd had quite a lot of work done on this. When we bought it, he reckoned about £1,000 to finish it off. Well, hello, girl. Yeah, it's a big property, but even this is what you've got to be careful of. Even an English person is supposed to be a trained craftsman. We're €30,000 further into it because a lot of the work was bodged, not done right. Anyway, that's by the by. It's cost us a lot more than we ever thought it was going to. But we're getting there, we're not far off completely now. Now let's have a look. It's autumn today still, not quite into winter, but it's freezing, absolutely freezing in the mornings at the minute. We've got a chicken pen We have,
7 chickens.
oh, I've got 7 chickens, is it? 7 chickens, which you can only eat so many eggs. I think I have 2 in the morning, Sue maybe has a couple at dinner time. The rest we give to the neighbours. This is, well, just a piece of ground. We put some trees and stuff in it. Now, Sue's a avid gardener. You right, girl? Hey. Yeah, this old dog here, when we bought the house, the owners left it. So Sue contacted him and says, what about your dog? Oh, don't you want her? If you don't want her, get rid of her, chuck her out on the street. I thought, well, can't do that. I know she's old. But good girl, aren't you, eh?
You're on camera, Tara.
Yeah. Right, this bit of ground, more trees. We've got apple trees, there's every fruit tree you can think of. Like I said, that's the house. Now, there was annex on the side of it, like a guest place. Now, one of the bits of advice I can give you is if you're going to buy a house, even something like this, even if it's off English, is to do it through a proper property lawyer, because when we bought this, we went through a property lawyer to check everything out. And this annex wasn't even on the skitzer. Now, skitzer's your...
Deeds.
Yeah, in England, your deeds. This building wasn't on it. Now, in Bulgaria, you've got to have planning permission now because we're in the EU. You can't build things without planning permission. And we was lucky. Our property lawyer managed to sort it out for us and got this put on. It cost us a little bit, like, but it was better that than have it knocked down, wasn't it? But outside of it, right, we'll do the outside first. And Sue's given me a bit of permission to show you bits of the house. She doesn't want our house really on camera for everybody to see. Here, log splitter. Logs, we have to split it. We buy the wood in cubic meters, cubic meters. Yeah, it is split, but look, I mean, look at the size of it. It's massive, and we split it with a hydraulic splitter. Then it's stacked. This is our wood shed. It put in here. By the time we're done, this shed is going to be at least half full of wood.
I'll show you now Ian hard at work splitting some of the wood up for us. There we go. Keep him away from his bike for a bit at least.
Beats using an axe, I'll tell you.
Yeah, damn sight easy using an axe, I must admit.
We do have what we call a pellet burner as well, which runs the central heating in the house. I'll show you that.
This is the pellet burner that we've got. This heats 9 radiators throughout the house. We've got one of them over there. We've got one in every room. The upstairs bathroom Ian showed you earlier, we've got 2 in there. A big radiator and also a heated towel rail. That all runs off the pellet burner. Last winter we used 2 tons of pellets. Wasn't too cold last winter, but we were nice and toasty all year long. So between the 2 tons of pellets and then, well, I think we got through about 3.5 cubics of the firewood last year. And we've got about the same for this year. We've got a bit more because we had some left from last year. We bought 4 cubics, so probably got about 4.5, 5 cubics of wood in total. And then say 2 tons of pellets, and that should keep us going through till next spring.
Here, loads of apple trees. We've put 2 sheds up. More sheds, greenhouses, another greenhouse over there. Sue's got them all cleared now. Now, this is the size of the garden. Now, usually I rotivate this, but since I've only just got out of hospital with my heart been modified again, I can't use a rotavator in it, and Sue's dug this by hand, all that with a fork. Keeps you fit, girl, doesn't it?
Yep. I'll make sure you're fit for this time next year.
Yeah, that's Sue's greenhouses. Whoops. What is that? Is this where you keep the stuff for the winter for your flowers?
Yeah, those are the geraniums that were out in the summer.
All right, but this is usually in the spring, summer. This is full of tomatoes in this one. Absolutely chock-a-block. This part, we're turning this into an orchard. Just planted a load of new trees in here. I don't know if the camera will pick them up because it's small. Another big greenhouse down here. What do you grow in that one?
Tomatoes.
Love tomatoes. Obviously we like tomatoes. It's got all raspberry bushes and stuff down here. This had more tomatoes in here. There's chili peppers still in. And then we have garlic all down here. Strawberry patch up there. And along that path, that's all herbs, I believe, in it.
That's the row of lavender down the edge of the path to keep the insects at bay.
Ah, right. Where do you put herbs? Is that them over there?
There's a load of herbs over there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, as you can tell, I'm not much of a gardener. I usually cut the grass, and there's plenty of that to cut here, believe me. Like she says, I never say too much about a garden. She says, the garden's my hobby, motorbikes is yours, so I don't argue with her. She's a good girl at that, really.
Gardening's a lot cheaper than motorbikes.
Yeah, okay. Now we have 3 freezers. Is it 3?
3 freezers, yeah. 1 in the house, 2 in here.
Yeah, 3 freezers, which we fill obviously with food, vegetables and stuff like that. Sue keeps her eye open for offers in the big supermarkets, Kaufland and Lidl. It's like if they have chicken on offer, we buy as many, you're only allowed to buy so much, and we buy as much as we possibly can. Sue splits it, freezes it. So we're buying our meat and stuff at the right money and enough to last us for whenever, like probably my life. This here was the annex. Now we got a huge house, so we don't need this as a guest place, and we're not renting anything out. We don't want to. So one half of it is what Sue operates with for the garden and food storage and stuff, and the back part I knocked the wall out, as a lot of you seen, and that's my workshop. Right, Sue does what is a traditional Bulgarian thing or an English thing that they did in the 50s, jarring. I'll give you the camera.
Okay. Let's start with up here. We've got all the dried herbs that I've got. Parsley, oregano, basil, rosemary, dill, coriander leaf, jars and jars to keep us going. Moving along, we've got carrots.
It's like pressure. It's cooked.
The vegetables are pressure canned. Anything that's pickled, for example, these pickled beetroots, those don't need pressure canning because the vinegar in them is the preservative. But anything like carrots, you need to pressure can those because there's no acid in them. So by pressure canning them, it preserves them and they will keep a couple of years.
Makes it vacuum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seals them with a vacuum, yeah. Pickled onions, pickled gherkins. I had a load of green tomatoes at the end of the season, so this is all green tomato chutney. Loads of jars of tomatoes. These are all water bathed. You open a jar, it's just like opening a tin of tomatoes. But obviously at no cost to me because I've grown them in the garden. More tomatoes down there on that shelf. Over there, there's more carrots. Pickled chili peppers. These are quite hot habanero type. We go down here. This is a tomato and aubergine pickle that I made. This is chicken that I've canned. This is pressure canned, the same as the carrots were. And again, this will last 12 months, 18 months.
Just like being in a tin, isn't it?
It is. It's just like opening a tin of meat. Yeah. Moving along. Piccalilli, peach jam, plum jam, apricot. These are red peppers.
I like them.
You like them, yes, you do, yes. This is like your pasta sauce, gluten. It's a Bulgarian sauce, but it's very similar to like your Italian pasta type sauces. Loads of that there, more down here, more tomatoes. All this is produce that's come out of the garden.
Keeps us going. It'll keep us going all the way through the winter into spring till the stuff's ready again. So at no cost. So it's a bit of work, but she enjoys doing it. Well, you've all seen this before, haven't you? Eh? The workshop. So we like the layout of this. This is the old. It's got a kitchen we'd have kept it to. Sue uses it for like when she's canning and stuff like this. See, we've got a cooker in it. This still all works. And what's this? This is
Halogen hob.
Oh, halogen hob in it. This I do. Yeah, another freezer. More stuff she buys. It's not like tea bags. You can't buy tea bags.
That's coffee.
Oh, coffee. Sorry, that's coffee. Where do you keep your tea bags? In your
They're
house?
in the house.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's coffee. We buy that in bulk, as you see. But anything that comes on offer, when it's on offer, we buy it. Milk, it's long life, low fat for me. Tins of tuna, salmon, and all other stuff like this. HP sauce. You can buy HP sauce red here, can't you?
You can get the Heinz tomato ketchup easily.
Yeah. Where do you get this then?
That came from Metro, which is like a big cash and carry type place.
Oh yeah, that's why it's in big bottles. You just have to fill your small bottle up with it. But you can't buy small bottles of brown sauce, which is, for an English person, is a disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, that's your Heinz tomato
Oh,
ketchup.
that's
you
the
get here.
Heinz you get here, yeah. Now, while we're talking about brown sauce, bacon is nearly non-existent here as far as Bulgarians concerned. But we get proper English butcher at the there.
There was, but he's not working at the moment.
Oh, so where do you get your
Due to
bacon
health.
from?
Lidl. They
Lidl.
actually do English bacon. Which I can't find at the moment. No. I think you've had it all.
Never. I've never had a bit of bacon. Yeah, so that's what we use this part of the annex for. I've done a lot of. Keep a chicken food in here, dog food in here. Any chicken food and stuff, never leave it in bags. I shall attract mice and stuff. But we've got a good cat here, as a lot of you seen. She appears on all the films we do. We do have a very large cellar here, but that's full of building stuff really. Screws, nuts and bolts, but it's massive. You've got your outside tap and concrete. What's the name here? We have barbecue area over there. This is a bit of an outside area. I've got to stop doing YouTube. I'm going to get built, but YouTube takes all my time up. I'm going to have a seating area here because you can't sit like under there. You can't sit there all day because as the sun comes around, it just gets too hot. Yeah, like now, as you see, this is in the shade, so you sit over here. But at different times of the day, the sun's on this, and it's extreme. Right, let's have a look inside. Right, this is done to Sue's styling. Well, we'll start in the kitchen. She has an English kitchen, as you can see. Now, we've done most of this ourselves. Latest up-to-date cooker. Kitchen units. We've usually used IKEA because it's the best, to be honest. This time we used an expensive Bulgarian one, and because the company come and fitted it for us. And it's not bad, is it? But it's
not bad, but it's not got the same quality.
No.
It's not going to last the length of time that an IKEA one would.
No, but it's nice enough.
Oh, yeah,
It's nice
yeah.
in the island.
You just have
Nice
to keep
cooker.
adjusting the doors for me, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Now, one of the things with this house, it's completely rewired. I'd say over rewired. You can run a big electric welder off this. It's massive, the wiring in this house. All new plumbing everywhere. I've had a few jobs to do on it. In actual fact, the person who did all the work on this, I've had a few jobs everywhere to do on it, but it's okay. What we have here is that in Bulgaria is called a pechka. I think in the UK you'd probably call it an arga. That runs off wood, coal, and you can cook on it. It's got a good oven and what have you, which Sue likes. Plus, in the winter months, we have that lit in the morning before I get out of bed and come downstairs. That's lit and it heats the whole of the house downstairs, that does. Our living room, which English, really nice, it's what we like. Got a TV in there to sit and watch when we want. There's a spare bedroom, got a downstairs bathroom. Let me just take my shoes off, so I'm going to get a bollock in here. Right. She's got a utility room in here, nice, just like what you would have in England. Internal staircase. Now, this house has been extended from its original. Believe it or not, these stairs was, if you remember in my last video, I said you had to go outside to go upstairs. Well, these are them stairs. But this house has been completely redone differently. It's massive now compared to what it was. These are now internal stairs. And there's a doorway here. It's another door you can come in from outside. Nice railings.
Made by you.
Made by me. Yeah, I must admit it does help if you're pretty handy. Yep. This is another room we use upstairs. This is the one I did for doing the videoing and stuff like that on with. But we often watch, I like watching motorbike racing, World Superbike and MotoGP. I sit upstairs and watch that. Sometimes do some filming. I still do my filming downstairs. Up here we've got a small wood burner. We sit up at night in the winter and this heats all the top floor of the house. Beautiful, nice and cosy. This just goes through into our bedroom area. Nice bedroom and everything. Here we've got a balcony. We often sit out here at nights in the summer with a glass of wine and a view and a half as well. Beautiful. Sea for miles. Yeah, that shows you the upstairs. Hello. Yeah. Oh yes, the famous throne. Now, when we bought the house, they left this chair, not as we wanted it, but the reason they left it was it's brought in the house before they had all the double glazing put in. Now, once the double glazing's put in, it wouldn't fit out of any door or window. And it was either just chop it up for scrap or keep it. So, as you can see, we've kept it. It's a talking point when most people come to the house. What have you got that for? Upstairs bathroom. It's in the top of the house. This is a must for Sue. Got to have a proper bath, we did. So there's a bath, we've got another shower, there's a shower in there. So this is quite nice. This is more or less Sue's bathroom. I usually use the one downstairs. Yep, I think that's about the house, isn't it?
That's about the house, yes.
So we've seen the house. Now let's talk about my village. I live in a place called...
Sofronievo.
I was just checking where you wanted everybody to know where we lived. Sofronievo. Here we've got a proper post office, which is quite busy, isn't it? That? We've got a petrol station in our village. We've got 2 supermarkets. One's pretty good supermarket, one's a bit smaller. There's a car wash and valeting centre here. We've got 5 smaller shops, which are like a bit like the Ostrov one I went in. Some's bigger than others, some smaller, but I think all of them sell more than what was in Ostrov. We've even got a fishing tackle shop here, because we've got a big river in it, runs through the village here. There's a kindergarten, which a lot of places will say, yeah, there's a kindergarten here, but there's no children, no school teachers. Ours is an operational one, isn't it?
It's operational. I've actually been inside it, and it does look like an English kindergarten. It's all newly decorated, new furniture, new tables and chairs. Money has been spent in it, definitely.
Oh, just so we don't ruin the film. Look, there you go.
Oh, there's Kitty.
There's Kitty. She's always here. There's a school. We've actually got a doctor who has a small surgery inside the municipality building, and there's a haberdashery. What's that?
It's a shop. The lady sells sewing fabrics, knitting wools, all the sorts of things that the women want to use.
Yeah, I think there's even an easy credit here, isn't it?
There is an easy credit,
yeah,
yes.
That's what you use to pay your bills. You can go in there and pay your council taxes, car stuff, speeding fines. Right, the next village down to us is about 5 kilometres away, Butan. It's got quite a large builder's merchant in it. They've got a real fancy car wash there, haven't they?
They have, yes.
Like an English style one with bubble things or something. Oh, there's a cafe, and there's a brand new takeaway food stand, like a big porter cabin that's been put up, and it's like a mini McDonald's, but it sells obviously the Bulgarian style takeaway, but it's brand new, spotless, because the food standards agencies here are stricter than the UK. There's also a big cement works there where I've got, must have about a dozen cement mixer lorries in it, but they make paving stones which you can use. There's tiles, curbstones, fancy tiling, all sorts of stuff you get from there. It's a massive place. Garden centre?
There's a garden centre, yeah.
Garden centre there. There's various supermarkets in this village, and one of them is up to UK standard, which you'd find in a small English town. Got quite a lot of stuff in. Obviously God knows how many shops. There's a modern hairdressers there, yet another petrol station. Now our village petrol station, it's nearly like a supermarket inside.
It's like a mini market inside.
Yeah. And there's a seating area outside where everybody meets before they go to work in the morning to have a coffee. There's weekly general market. I think I've shown that on a video before. It's a massive market, one of the biggest round here, where you can even get live fish to eat. There's every sort of vegetable, clothes, fishing stands, clothes. Then there's obviously the bottom end of it is all the junk type stuff you'll buy. Then if you go out to my village road and turn the opposite direction, there's a village called Vista. It's only another 5 kilometres away. There's a even larger builder's merchant there. You can get nearly everything to build your house from that. And they've got lorries to do deliveries to your property. Also there's 3 takeaways right on the side of the road, aren't they, all together? One of them does pizzas. It's a pizza takeaway, and I think they do deliveries. There's a takeaway kebab place there. Now these people are Bulgarians, but they've worked in England doing the same business, and they've opened up there, and it's all brand new, all stainless steel, absolutely immaculate and real nice food. Then the opposite side of the road is a Bulgarian cafe which does takeaways, but it's kebabche. It's like a
just typical standard Bulgarian food, isn't it?
Kebabche, kaveta into it, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bulgarian food, and it's a sit-down cafe as well. Very busy because it's on the main road that runs through. Range of shops and supermarkets. It also has a weekly general market. Ours is on Butan's is on
Butan is Saturday, Vista is Sunday.
Yeah, and Vista it's just been modernised, isn't it?
Cusharista Marketplace is being modernised at the moment, yeah. All new stalls being built, concreted the paths and everything.
Yeah, and it's got new roofing over it and everything. Once a month they also have a animal and bird market where you can go buy your chickens, pigs, rabbits, whatever you want. That's once a month there though. Plus they've also got a car wash. So this is why you need to do your homework. Now one of the other big assets here is we're from the nearest town is, how far are we from Kozadui?
Well, it's about 20 kilometres from Kozadui.
Yeah, 20 kilometres, and it's good roads. There's a massive nuclear power plant, and it employs literally thousands and thousands of people. Now the town itself, which it joins on the power plant, was it's only about 2 or 3 kilometres down the road. Kozadui is absolutely stunning place. We'll probably, if anybody's interested, we'll do a video of this. Lovely place. Put a lot of English towns to shame, it would. There's no derelict shops or nothing. It's up to date, modern housing, everything. Now you cannot buy a house in Kozadui. There's just none available, and if one ever did come up, it'll be English prices. Now there's loads of apartments there. They're all full and taken up. Now, because there's so many people work at the power plant. The power plant, I think, is about either the second highest paid wage you can get in Bulgaria, and like Varatsa, it's about 70 kilometres, is it, from here?
About 65, yeah.
65 kilometres. It's a really, really big town, our biggest town around here. There's at least 3 coach loads come every day. And there's 3 shifts, three 8-hour shifts at the power plant. Well, I say thousands work there, thousands. They're extending it because it doesn't just provide power to Bulgaria. We're right on the Danube. The other side of the Danube is Romania, and there's massive, huge pylons go over into Romania. This power plant provides electricity which they sell to the Romanians as well. Now they're extending it. Can you remember when it first started? Was it in the 50s?
50 years ago exactly. It was the 50th anniversary of the power plant this year.
Oh, right. Yeah, 50 years ago. Now they've shut, I think, 2 of the cooling towers down. That's been ongoing for a while. But the building extending, I think it's at least 2 more. Now they need more staff to come and work at this place, which they'll get some local, but I think most people around here work there already. But there's a lot of foreigners from all over the world live there because obviously it's a specialised job. And because the power plant has put a lot of money into the town of Kozloduy, this is why it looks like it does. It's a absolutely stunning place. And there's that shortage of housing here that they're building their own sort of, I don't know, it's not a village, but they're paying for a lot more houses to be extended into Kozloduy. Now to give you an idea, when we was on about Ostrov off my previous video, the builders was paying 5,000 level, €2,500 for a house, bodging it up and selling it to the not so wise English who don't want to come and have a look first for 35 to 40,000 euros. Now, when you're in England, to think you can buy a house for 35,000 euros is unheard of, really, isn't it? So this is why they buy them. So that gives you an idea how much property is there. Now, the new block of apartments are building in Kozloduy, 400,000 euros a apartment. That's just an apartment. It's not a house, it's an apartment. So that sort of gives you a bit of a brief thing of how much stuff costs over there. So you need to do your own work. You need to come and look at places like this. Where we live isn't the only place. There is places similar to this, and obviously Sofia, the capital, is very expensive, but there's Plovdiv, isn't there?
Velika Trnovo, the Black Sea coast, Varna, Burgas.
Yeah, anywhere on the coast is like anywhere on the coast. It's astronomical prices. But the thing about the coast is it's okay in the summer. Well, I say it's okay. It's chock-a-block with people, unbelievable. But if any of us ever been to Skegness, I know it's no. It's only because I come from Lincolnshire. You used to go to Skeggy in the summer on your bike at night, and it'd be packed even with people pissed up and falling over. You go there in the winter and it's deserted. It's horrendous. Well, this is how the coast is in Bulgaria. Beautiful in the summer, beautiful coasts and beaches. Sunny beaches like Blackpool with sun now, party town. But you go anywhere to that in the winter and it's dead. There's no restaurants or very few open. The shops are all shut. You know, it has its pluses and minuses. Where we live, it's the same all year round. Doesn't make any difference at all. So you need to come and do your own work. You've seen what I've got. This is what you can have, or even better. I know ours is a lot better than ours. But I'm not going to tell you how much ours is worth. It'll upset you. Because obviously property isn't as expensive. But I could buy, if I sold this, I could buy a lot of houses in Ostrov, put it that way. But it isn't cheap when you come around this area. It's a lot more expensive. If you've only got like a budget of £10,000 to come over here with, go live at Ostrov or somewhere like that. Buy a house for next to nothing. Either just tidy it up, painting it and live in it and enjoy your life. Dig your garden. But that will be your life. Or you can, if you've got a bit more money, you can live in places like we do and you can have a life. You know, we've got bars, restaurants, they're all over the place here. Things to do, places to go, lots of people. And if you like, the people are more English looking. Most people smartly dressed, nice cars. If you go towards Kozloduy, very nice cars, very nice houses. Just like England, they just speak foreign language. Obviously, we're in Bulgaria. Now, oh, I did have a comment on somebody says, I was surprised he didn't speak the local language. I think that's when I went in the shop. I just wanted a bar of chocolate. Sue, the wife, can speak Bulgarian pretty good. She can type it, read it, write it. And me, because I'm lazy, I let her do it all. I don't want to sound miserable, but I don't talk to too many people. You wouldn't think I'd have a YouTube channel, would you? I've got my mates, but mainly English bikers. And that's basically where I stop. I know enough Bulgarian to get me through. I can even go to the big cat office of the police, register my bikes myself. I can do what I have to do, but I don't make an effort on speaking the language. And the problem is because I don't use it enough, you forget certain things or use the wrong vowels or female, male.
Neuters. Genders
in it, which can upset them. So, but to be honest, the Bulgarians don't have a lot to talk to me about that I'm interested in. And they're not really interested in motorbikes and stuff I do, so they're friendly. I say hello, good morning and what have you, and the odd word, and they do the same. But they'll talk to Sue. Or if they come here and want something, is Susan there? G'day Susan, g'day Susan, where is Susan? Because I know they get more sense out of her than me. Right, so this was a bit of a different look on how Bulgaria is. It's not all, what was that place?
Ostrov.
Yeah, what did that bloke call it?
Guatemala. It's not all like Guatemala.
It's not all like Guatemala. It's not all like I showed you. The outlying villages, up the mountains, all mountain villages are like this. And I'm afraid as the older people die off, they'll all come empty. But it's not the only place. Spain's like this, Portugal's like this. You know, it's just what happens. All the young people go to the cities or go abroad to earn the money. So, this is probably interesting for you, for those that was interested. We had a lot of questions about it. So please subscribe to the channel. It does help me. Keeps it going. And a big thumbs up. And we'll see you shortly in another video. Cheers.